Hello, cheapskaters. Forgotten my name. No, I haven't. I'm Kath Armstrong, creator of the Cheapskates Club, where our goal is to live life debt-free, cashed up, and laughing. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome. And if it's not, welcome back. I usually do know my name. To join the live chat tonight, you will need to be logged into your YouTube channel or your Gmail account. If you don't have either of those, don't panic. You can always leave a comment underneath me. And I will do my best, if you have questions, to answer them either after the show or tomorrow. And if you have a question and you're in live chat, remember all capitals so it stands out. That would be really helpful. Well, this is an update show on what I don't buy because, well, I shop differently to most people. And it has been over 3 years, almost 3.5 years since I did the first What I Don't Buy video. So it's well past time for an update. Although considering we've had 2 years of pandemics and lockdowns and whatever, shopping wasn't really, high on my list of priorities, and keeping track of things was, though, because, we need to know what we have. Now, I do shop differently to most people. I always have. But due to circumstances beyond my control, and as I said, it's, a worldwide crisis that so far has lasted over 2 years and looks like the crises might be lasting longer, my shopping habits have changed. Instead of doing a big once-a-year shop, which I just love getting it over and done with, and then just a fortnightly top-up, about halfway through 2020, when lockdown was looking like it was just going to keep going forever and ever and ever, I decided that once a year wasn't going to work. There were already shortages happening. The lockdowns were annoying. You had to mask up, and then you could only go 5 kilometers from home, and you could only go out once a day, whatever. It was very, very frustrating. You all know that. So instead, what I decided to do was replace what we use as we use it to keep the pantry full. Because right now, keeping the pantry full is my full-time job. It is my main job. And keeping the gas and electricity use down, but that will be another video, I'm pretty sure. Now, I am an ingredients shopper because ingredients give me options. And, I like options. They save me time. They save me money. They save me energy. Options are good. So fast forward 3 years to 2022, and I'm still not buying soft drink other than for our special occasions, birthdays, our anniversary, Christmas, New Year. If we want something other than water or tea or coffee to drink, well, there's cordial, moo cordial, or moo ginger beer, or rhubarb champagne, or ginger ale, which I've learnt to make from fresh ginger, or iced coffee mix, or hot chocolate mix. We have plenty of options for drinks if we want them without buying fizzy drinks. Now, the boys buy their own. That does not come out of my budget. They buy their own, and that's fine. Now, I'll fess up and say I do still buy cheesels, though they have gone up. Half price is now $2.50 a box. I love cheesels. They are my really bad for you snack food temptation. So they usually go into the Christmas stockings and we have them for family celebrations. I still don't buy chips, but I still buy pita bread on sale and make pita chips, and they're really easy to make. My favourite seasoning at the moment is smoked paprika. Just got some smoked paprika from Hindustan, and it's just divine. It smells amazing. So I am hooked on that at the moment. All I do is melt some butter, I stir in some of that smoked paprika, and I brush it over the pita breads, and then use a pizza cutter to cut it into chips and bake them. They're so good. Now, one packet of pita bread makes a lot of chips, a lot of chips. And they take 20, 25 minutes all up from, start to clean up, getting them out of the oven and letting them cool. So it's not labour intensive and it's not time intensive either. And right now, a packet of pita bread, the Cobb's bread, is $2 for a 500 gram pack, or that makes it 40 cents per 100 grams. And the cheapest potato chips are 3 times that price, $1.18 per 100 grams. So 40 cents, $1.18. The little things, little amounts add up really quickly when you want to save money. And best thing about pita chips is they can be stored in an airtight container once they're cool, and they'll last weeks. Well, not in our house, but your family might have more self-control than mine. But they will last in an airtight container. And if you think they're stale or they've become a bit soft, well, next time the oven's on, spread them on a baking sheet, on a biscuit tray, sprinkle them with some water. Sprinkle, don't drown them, just sprinkle them with some water and put them in the oven. They will crisp right back up in 10, 15 minutes. They will be crisp and fresh again. You won't know that they were, sad and sorry in the container. And they will taste just as fresh as the day you made them. Now, so I'm still not buying chips, but I am still buying pita bread. Because I make pita chips, I don't buy corn chips, because we use pita chips for nachos, for dips, for haystacks, for just eating them. I crumble them over casseroles, put them in the food processor, give them a whiz up, throw in some herbs, a little bit of cheese if I've got some, sprinkle it over casserole, really nice topping. Pita chips are really versatile and they're really, really cheap. I think for all of us, shopping has changed over the last couple of years. I know for me, ingredients are featuring even more on the shopping list, way more. So flours, oats, sugar, herbs and spices, frozen veggies, they're all still the main things on my shopping list. But I am adding things that I never used to buy. Tinned veggies like corn, peas, carrots, beans, to add to the pantry shelf as shelf-stable vegetables. I use these with the frozen veggies and with the dehydrated veggies, depending on what I'm making. Just little things that I never used to buy that I do buy now, because fresh and sometimes frozen are hard to get. Now, I do buy frozen pastry. Now, I still make pastry, but I just like the convenience of having frozen pastry sheets ready to just pull out of the freezer and thaw. And, the last 18 months especially, that has been a really big help. But the biggest difference has been the weekly shopping. I do not like weekly shopping. I just don't like it. Anyway, as something is used, I add it to the shopping list straight away, or whoever's used it up puts it on the shopping list straight away, and then it's replaced on shopping day if we can get it. Now, shopping day, flexible, Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how busy life is and what's going on. 2 really bad days to hit the supermarket because they're usually busy. But anyway, The goal for me is to maintain the pantry at full capacity and not let it run down. I don't want gaps. I don't want to run the risk of running out of something that I shouldn't have run out of. I need a drink of water. I'm talking too fast. Now, I have been buying English muffins from Aldi when they have them, and using them to make bulk McMums and McSausage and sausage McMums for our breakfast. We all like those, and they're really easy. We set up. I have someone toasting the muffins, someone slicing the cheese. I'm usually frying the eggs, or the patties are in the oven, so it works really well. And then once they're cooled, I just wrap them, put them in the freezer. My family love them. They really do. Wayne loves them. The boys love them. I don't mind them. You know, they're so much cheaper than buying them. And they freeze really well. And they thaw and reheat really, really well in the microwave or in the oven, depending on how many we have to do. They work really, really well. So I have been buying the muffins, and because it saves time. And sometimes, even though we're watching our budgets, watching our money, watching our spending, sometimes that few extra cents for the convenience of buying the muffins is worth it. I could make them. English muffins are easy to make, but it takes a bit of time that I don't necessarily always have because of other things going on. So in this instance, I am more than happy to pay for the convenience. Another change is to the first aid pantry. Over the last 2.5 years, I've added lots to it, more first aid supplies, including more essential oils, just to make it more flexible, and so it's not just a giant box of Band-Aids. I've added lots more vitamins. What else? Bandages. Now, I've ripped up some old sheets for bandages, but I have stretchy bandages. I have the gauze bandages. I've got the sterile brain freeze, sterile pads to put over wounds and things like that. I also added a couple of extra bottles of saline, the bigger bottles of sterile saline, to the first aid box, just as a backup. You know, when boys are grown up, so they should technically be out of the, you know, dangerous accident stage, but they're not. You know, let them loose with a power tool and goodness knows what could happen. Let them loose with a garden tool and it can be scary. So the first aid I have filled out more, added more to it, rounded it more out. I've also printed out some instructions for different things on how to wrap different types of bandages and stuff like that. Put them into a loose leaf folder and stuck that in the box with them, just because I really need to redo my first aid, and I'm pretty sure the boys, I don't think the boys have ever done any sort of first aid training at all. So that's another thing that's done, and I will add I've been thinking about it for months, redoing my first aid. Anyway, so that's a big change. Now, I will say that with weekly shopping and having a list of things to replace, shopping has been a bit of an adventure, simply because I'm going from store to store just to get the basics. Things like eggs, cheese, baked beans, frozen veggies, toilet paper, tinned tomatoes, that sort of thing. because often there are gaps at store A, so I have to go to store B. Now that takes time, but I think it's worth it. It's worth it to me to know that the pantry's stocked. I'm also blessed in that I have within, a good couple of kilometres, I've got Aldi, 2 Aldis, 2 Coles, a Woolworths. The Woolworths is right on the edge. I've got an IGA, a Foodworks, a really good butcher, a really good greengrocer, plus a couple of good bakeries if I need them. So they're really handy. It's not a lot of travelling to go to those. If I want to go to Costco, that's a bit further, and that really has to be a planned trip. And I only go if I absolutely know that they have what I want and that it is cheaper. Simply because diesel's $2.25 a litre. That's really expensive. Travelling, driving out of our zone is really, really, we have to put a lot of thought into it. So while right now I don't want any gaps in the pantry, and I know that I have to work to fill them much harder than I was before, I can do it, but it has to be planned. It just has to be planned so that I'm not wasting time, I'm not wasting my energy, I'm not wasting fuel, that sort of thing. Now, I thought of something just while I was talking. Oh, meat. A big change in meat for us. It is so expensive. And I was talking a couple of weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure I posted it over on Cheapskates Chatter. Scotch fillet on sale, $48.99 a kilo. That is a stupid, ridiculous price. So we don't have steak anymore. And I have actually stopped buying roasts because they are a stupidly ridiculous price. In Australia, we should not be paying those prices for meat, for beef, for lamb, for pork. And even pork, which was very cheap and has been for the last 5 or 6 years, even pork has gone up in price. Now, we don't eat pork, but I always notice, and I always look at it and think, I wish we did because it's so cheap. Well, it's not cheap anymore. So I'm sticking mainly to mince, chicken fillets, whole chickens, because they were $3.99 a couple of weeks ago, so I was able to get 3. And they will do a roast, or I can cut them up or whatever. We're eating a lot of tinned tuna because it's cheap and it's the only fish that my, they don't particularly like it, but they will eat it. Frozen fish. We've been eating a lot of frozen fish too because that has been cheaper. But I'm a bit fussy about where it comes from, so I have to go searching. Otherwise, what I buy and what I don't buy is pretty much the same. I still do things like, let me find my notes. Let me find my notes. Wish I could find my notes. They've gone. Up here we go. Let me find my notes. I still don't buy packaged salads. Right now I'm not buying lettuce or tomatoes either, or cucumbers or capsicums because they are too expensive. I have I have capsicums in the freezer from the summer garden. Tomatoes and cucumbers, we will just have to wait until we can grow them ourselves. I have planted lettuce and they should be ready in the next week or 10 days. They will be ready to start. I am picking baby leaves off them. But if I want the bigger lettuce leaves, I'll have to wait. I'm still not buying cakes and biscuits. I still bake them. They're easy enough to do. I don't buy jam. I still make it. I don't buy marmalade, I still make it. Puddings and things like that, we still make. I make pizza bases, the boys will buy them. They have a particular one that they like. I've forgotten the brand. They get it at Coles. They like that one. So if they want it for their pizzas, they buy it. Otherwise, I make it. Same with the pizza sauce. It's easy enough to make. Cordial, I think I mentioned before, we make. What else? Yogurt. I'm still making yogurt. Still making cottage cheese. Still making ricotta. We've done a couple of batches of mozzarella, but it takes a lot of milk, and milk's getting a bit expensive too. So weighing up, it's not necessarily always cheaper to make it than it is to buy it. So you do need to check your prices and know them. Waffles we make, pancakes we make, pies we make. So we still do pretty much what I was doing 3 years ago, but the ingredients have trimmed down perhaps. So I'm sticking to plainer ingredients. I'm not adding as many, I don't have as much in the way of dried fruits. I don't have as much in the way of tinned fruits. I don't have as much in the way of nuts. So I've got slivered almonds, flaked almonds, walnuts, glacé cherries. That's sort of my embellishment, baking embellishment pantry. We've got sultanas and mixed dried fruit and dates. So I've cut back on things like that. Now, why have I cut back? Couple of reasons. One is our budget is tight. The other one is the prices are going up, and they are getting really expensive. So I have to seriously think about whether it's for one recipe or whether it is an ingredient that will make a few different recipes, because I'm still really conscious of food fatigue. Even with ingredients, if I'm just making the same thing over and over and over, then it's going to be boring, isn't it? So I'm really conscious about that too. Otherwise, sort of pretty much the same. Yeah, no, we're growing more in the garden, and that's okay. We've every summer for the last 3, we've extended the garden a bit more. I'm growing more in pots. We've added more fruit trees. But of course, fruit trees are slower to produce a good harvest. So they are things that are coming in time. Something for the future. We're planning ahead as well. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same. So how are you all going? Have you all changed the way you shop? Have you all changed what you're buying more ingredients because you get options? I don't know. Am I just the only one? I know for me, going from once a year shopping to weekly shopping, back to weekly shopping, huge change for me, because I really do not like supermarkets. I really don't like having to avoid people with the trolley, and there's always someone who will stop right in front of you. The other day, there was a lady facing this way and a lady facing this way, and they were opposite each other right in the middle of the aisle. One was on her phone, one was in La La Land. You say, excuse me, I don't have the patience for it. So when I can go back to once a year shopping, I'll be a happy shopper again. All right. Selena, no, I haven't tried chili cheesels. I don't think I'd like them. I'm not sure. Now let me slide up. I just saw that saw that there. Now let me slide up because I know. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, Beverly, I hope you feel better very soon. Oh, and Trina, everybody's sick. We had to cancel cards on Saturday. We had one recovering from 2 tested negative. One had ironing to do. Which meant that we couldn't go to where we were normally go, so we're going to have it here. But then I had a house full of people at the weekend. It was just chaotic. So in the end, it was just, we cancelled it, but it was just crazy. And Wayne came home from work yesterday, and 2 people at work didn't turn up yesterday because they had positive rats. I'm like, seriously, people, get over this virus. Boost your vitamin C, boost your vitamin D, and boost your zinc. All right. There we go. Joy, a lot of sickness about at the moment. Never been so glad of my stockpile, prepped meals and goodies. Yes. Just able to get over. Very good. I know Janine is sick, so it's a bit of it going around. And Delaney, don't worry about keeping up the pest, we'll manage. Get better soon. Alrighty. Let me see. Eyes going busy. Selena's power bills reduced by $30 a month since the 2 adult kids moved out. We noticed the difference when Hannah left show, which balanced out the extra for heating. Well, swings and roundabouts, it balances, so it's better than being more. And then the chili cheesels. Janine was always burning pita chips. Tinned veggies are good, yes. And they can be eaten cold. Not so good cold, but they can be. Although, when we're camping, we've got tinned veggies. We crack the lid of the tin, probably about 2 centimetres, 2.5 centimetres, and sit the tin at the edge of the fire, and we just rotate it while everything else is cooking, and then it can be opened and the veggies are hot. So that works if you're camping. That's a really good thing to do. Now here's Janine. Gave up on pita chips because they're always burning. Got to watch them really quick. My McMuffins are much nicer than anything you can buy, and the sausage McMuffins are even better. Not that I'm tooting my own horn or anything, Selena. Hello, Barb. Yep. Yes, see, Delaney makes McDowell's. Works every time. You can use flannelette depending on what you're going to do with it. Well, flannelette is cotton anyway. It's just brushed cotton. So you can wash it, tear it into probably 3-inch, 4-inch strips, nice and wide. The wider it is, the better it is. And you can use it as bandages to hold things in place, yes. Wherever you can get them, Chemist Warehouse, sometimes the supermarkets will have sales. Aldi will sometimes have a sale. Kmart, Big W, wherever, your local pharmacy, wherever you can get them, look online. It really depends what you want, and whether you want them as individual items or whether you want it to come as a complete set, like a first aid box. I know the RACV does a first aid box, and we used to joke that I could do brain surgery, neurosurgery with this first aid kit from the RACV, because it was very, very, and it's a great one. We keep it in our four-wheel drive. It's a very detailed first aid kit, and it's really good. So it really depends what you want, and take it from there, whether you want to buy just individual items or whether you want it to come as a set. There are places like St. John's. The other place is gone. Places that do first aid training will often have first aid kits too. Bob Star makes egg, bacon and cheese wraps. Yes, really, really easy and handy. And the best part is, I think, but a lot of people, even kids these days, have gotten into the habit of not having a really good breakfast. A really, really good breakfast. Now, I missed it tonight, but there was a thing on the Channel 7 News, and I really wanted to see it, and then I missed it, about how eating breakfast can actually help you lose weight. And I sort of understand that, and the time that you eat it. I sort of understand that, because if you start your day early enough, as in, 6:30, 7:30, and eat a decent breakfast, your body has the fuel it needs to get you through to lunchtime. So you're not doing that mid-morning snack. You're not getting the shakes. You're not, craving chocolate or something. It keeps you through, because there used to be that saying, breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, dinner like a pauper. And when we were growing up, we had a full cooked breakfast, and then we had a reasonably decent lunch, and then tea was always 6 o'clock, and it was always light, something light. So we sort of did that growing up, and I keep thinking I should go back to that sort of eating. So we'd have the meat and veggies for breakfast, then our sandwiches, rolls, whatever for lunch, and then something simple for dinner, which would be might be scrambled eggs on toast, or it could be a bowl of soup and a crumpet or something like that. So we do eat what we eat, and when we eat it, obviously makes a difference to our weight, which makes a difference to our health. But I really, if anyone saw that on Channel 7 News tonight, really, really, I'm going to go and see if I can find it again. I agree. Our kids did CPR in youth group. I did it before we had kids. I did it as part of a self-defense training that I did. So yeah, it's a good point. It almost needs to be, let's put CPR training in high school instead of jewelry making. Much more practical. Selena's got 40-minute drive one way for groceries, so you need to plan your shopping. You really need to plan it. Yeah. All right. Home-based foods. Oh, so guys, hello Tony from Massachusetts. Good morning. It's evening here. It's what, 8:06 at night on a Tuesday night here. So it must be Tuesday morning for you. Okay, can mushed red kidney beans be used to help mince go further? They certainly can. Now, you can mash them with a potato masher and they become like refried beans, you know, that sort of texture. Or if you have a food processor or a stick blender, blitz them and they'll turn into so that they don't go to mush, but they are the little granules, like, you know, like the little granules of mince, and then stir that through. And I found with my boys, it was a texture thing. If it looked similar and the texture or was close enough, no worries. If it looked very odd and the texture was even slightly not what they were expecting, it was a no-go. It was a no-go. So I do that with baked beans. I use baked beans a lot. Baked beans are really good. I put baked beans in my lasagna. 2 tins of baked beans, 500 grams of mince, 2 cups of TVP, and it makes my big Corningware baking dish full of lasagna, which feeds us for 3 to 4 meals, 3 to 4 full dinners for the 5 of us, depending on whether I cut it up for dinners or cut it up for lunches. Baked beans are a really good extender. So here we go now. Where are we? Local fruit store was selling local farm lettuce $4 to $6. Cut out the middleman. They've gone direct to the farmer, perhaps, and paid less for it. I don't know. I don't know how they work their prices. I'm struggling today with a couple of different things to do with prices. So it's really, really annoying. Really, really annoying. We're arguing with insurance companies. It's been on for nearly 6 months. We've got other things. Anyway, so alrighty. Okay, this is really interesting. I've been adding more cancer preserving and basics like vinegar, salt, sugar, etc., preserving or fermenting. Very good. Excellent. Bicarb soda is now nearly $14 a bag at Costco. I was a bit stunned. The vinegar, I think, was nearly $3 for the bottle. I was a bit stunned. I didn't buy it because I have plenty, like literally have plenty. But I like to check the prices. But I was stunned at the price, the way bicarb had gone up in price. Very, very expensive. Salt doesn't seem to have gone up in price. Salt is a good thing to have in your pantry, not just for preserving, as in, you know, canning and bottling and pickling and so on, but just as a backup to have. Salt is really good because when you don't have it and you need it, you really, really miss it. It's also a forever food, so you can get it and keep it. As long as it stays dry, it will be fine. Alrighty. Sorry guys, my eyes are looking for me. Oh, really? Thanks, Maureen. I knew someone had told me, don't bother watching the ACA story about breakfast tonight. It was about skipping breakfast so you can lose weight. Really dumb idea. Really, really, really dumb idea. Really, really dumb idea. Oh, Delaney says salt's been hit and miss at her local Coles. Okay, well, that's a shame. All right. So I'm at the end of the comments. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, because if you are subscribed to my channel, when we hit 5,000 subscribers, and we are currently sitting at, let me just see, I can tell you exactly. Give me just, 2 seconds to do this, figure out how I'm doing it. 4,370, 630 more subscribers, guys, and I will be drawing that dehydrator. It will be out of here so fast, it will probably leave burn marks on the floor. I cannot wait to give it to someone. So if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. That's all you need to do. Now, even if you are not in Australia, you can still subscribe and be in the draw. We've got it worked out. Don't panic. If you're not in the country and your name just comes from the random draw thingamajigger, you can still win. So just subscribe. And when you subscribe, it really helps our channel too. All right. Alrighty. Rain Country shows you how to make vinegar from pineapple. I think she's got pineapple vinegar on the go at the moment. You can make vinegar from apple peelings and cores. I've done that in the past. It's really, really, really easy to do. It's really easy to do. It's sort of, once you stuff the peels in the jar and top it up with the water and put the gauze over it, it sort of ferments away by itself. It's really good. So and I really like Rain Country. Heidi's lovely. She's just practical stuff. She was talking today, one of my favorite things, dehydrating meat. Yes, so many people don't dehydrate meat. I love my dehydrated mince. I love my dehydrated chicken. Oh my goodness. I have canned mince and canned chicken too, and frozen. But the dehydrated is just so easy. Making pasta sauce, you put in your tomatoes, whatever, throw in the dehydrated meat, and it just cooks all together. It's really, really good. If I'm using dehydrated meat and TVP, into the bowl they go, cover with a stock or hot water, put the plate on top. It rehydrates together. I love my dehydrated mince. It's really, really, really easy, and Heidi's got lots of videos on how to do that. So yes, hit the like button, guys. If you like the show or you like the channel, please, likes are really good. Another use for salt. Well done, Barb. I hope your mouth feels better soon. I really do. I'm not fond of the dentist, but it's one of those necessary evils, isn't it? Shouldn't say he's evil, should I? Right. If you leave it long enough, Joy, split your vinegar. Do the 50-50 with your vinegar. Top it up. Leave the lid off the bottles so the bacteria yeast can get into it. It will eventually form a mother. And from the mother, then you can just automatically, you just keep growing full-strength vinegar. I have one in the laundry at the moment, which is really good, because a brewed vinegar, I think that's the right term, uses the mother. The others are distilled and brewed. Pretty sure. I'll check that up, and if I'm wrong, I'll put a note for you. Yes, and you'll never guess where I got them. Maureen I remember I was looking for plastic food buckets, the bigger ones with lids that I could hammer on to store things in. Got them for $2 each from a local hot bake. Just by chance, I had been to the chemist and was walking back to the car, and just happened to look, and there was the sign, little tiny sign in the door. And so I was able to get 7 of them. So yes, keep your eyes peeled. $2 each. I was so excited. And the poor lady, really, really, really lovely lady, was just like, why do you want 7? So I was explaining to her what I was doing, and she looked at me like I was like, and she goes, oh, okay. Are you one of those people? I mean, no, I'm not. I just don't, I just need more storage space. And she went, oh. So how long will that last you? I said, oh, about a year. And she just went, I was like, you are one of those people. She looked at me like I was quite crazy. Well, I'm not really. Not really. Joy's mixture, yes, you can use it in cooking. Now, it doesn't work over and over and over unless you leave it to develop the mother. It's a whole science behind it. I'm pretty sure I've got the notes on somewhere. But yeah, it'll be fine in cooking. It might not be as acidic as you are used to, but it's still fine. I have soup mix, kidney beans, navy beans, cannellini beans. Did I say kidney beans? In them. The ones that I stored in the mylar bags that I put in the mylar bags. I think I did a video on that, and then I put them in the buckets so that they could go out into my shed. Rather than trying to find somewhere in the house for them. Here we go. This is really, if you live near a nursing home, they have yellow ones they buy gravy in. Interesting. I will ask at the nursing home. Next time I drop off cards, I will ask. Full bellies, pile of buckets. Yep, that'll be us. Teething gel. I've never thought of teething gel for toothache. I suppose I didn't use it for my babies. Ulcers are so bad. I have had the last 3 weeks. It's been very annoying, but I've had what they call a gum boil. So it's like an abscess, but it's right just under my gum, not actually on my tooth, but under my gum. And so the inside of my gum was swollen up and awful. And it did eventually, antibiotics, tried all sorts of things. It did eventually burst, thank goodness. But I have been, and I'm not suggesting in any way, shape or form that anyone else do this, but I have been putting thieves oil on it every morning, every lunchtime, every night. And it is that, because it was a massive, big ulcer when it burst, and I've been putting the thieves oil on it because the antibiotics just weren't fixing it up, and it is down to almost nothing now. So that might be an idea. When we were kids, we used to put Vegemite on our ulcers. The yeast, the B6 and the yeast would fix them almost overnight or really quickly, but it stings like crazy because of the salt. So yeah, alrighty. Now where am I Goodness, lots of comments have popped in. Any help with successful slicing of homemade bread? Your bread needs to be cold and preferably a day old. I know that sounds bizarre, but or you're going to hate this, an electric knife works really well too. But if your bread is cold, so it's properly cool, and it's a 12 hours old, whatever, the crumb has had time to set, so it firms up and it actually works really well. But you can get from $2 shops, you might have to look for it, a gizmo that will be about $2 or $3, and it's sort of like bookends that fold into each other, but when you pull them out, there's gaps in the sides, and you can put your loaf of bread in it and then just cut through those gaps so that technically all your slices will be the same size. Are you implying I'm crazy, Joy? Let's wait till I tell Wayne his best friend told me I was crazy. Does anyone watch Patricias Homestead? Patara did a video today on teaching. Well, I think she called it teaching her parents or something like along those lines, teaching boomers or something along that line. But how we can be the example for people that have never, older people that have never had to prepare, because if they were born in that time period, that baby boomer time period, then they were between wars or after, between World War II and Korea and Vietnam, and they didn't really affect us in terms of shortages and rationing and stuff like that. So they sort of lived the good life, and they haven't really had to prepare too much. Yeah, we had a couple of recessions in that time, but they weren't actually quite as bad as what we're doing now. So it's really interesting what she was saying. Yeah. So Catherine's leading by example. She's showing her parents how to prepare. Oh, this is a good idea. Turn your bread loaf upside down. That's a good idea. Oh, I shouldn't. Sorry, I've lost it again. Click too fast. Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, those gum boils are awful. Hurts like crazy. And they are not nice. Tanya gets mayonnaise buckets and gravy buckets with lids from her local fish and chip shop. Joy used to use powdered alum. It's probably illegal now. Can you still get it? I'm not sure whether you can still get it, because they used to put, was it alum they used to put in pickles as to crisp them, to keep them crisp. Was that alum? Is that alum? I make it to Thieves Blend. I make my own too. Thieves Blend or Thieves Oil and Manuka honey, two mainstays of my medicine cabinet. Yeah, Lisa, it needs to, yeah, I know it sounds weird to say that you've got to let your homemade bread go, not stale, but just let it firm up a bit so the crumb sets. We do, Joy, we do. We all like Patricias Homestead. Cool. There you go. Well done, Catherine. Oh, don't you like it? You just get joy from knowing that if you're doing something and someone goes, "What are you doing?" and you explain it to them, that they get it and they understand and they go away. And even if they don't do it, they at least know how. It's such a nice feeling to know that you've empowered someone to do something for themselves. Container hoarder. All right. I grew up with a father who was in the Depression. Yeah. I'll post the recipe for Thieves oil, Joy. It's I put in clove oil and oregano. There's a whole lot of different ones out there, but they're all basically the same. I'll post the recipe for you. Tegan, it will be fine. If it's if it's in a clean jar, a clean bottle, a clean roller, it will be fine. It's your essential oils lose some of their potency, but they don't particularly go off as in bad. So it should be fine. We don't think odd, Jane. You fit right in. Okay. All right. Bye, Lucinda. Okay, guys, it's nearly 8:30. So thank you if you've stuck with me this far. I thought I'd give you that little update because I was sorting out and doing stuff, and it occurred to me that I hadn't done one for a while. I posted the original video from 2019 over on Cheapskates Chatter. That's our Facebook group. Friday, Saturday, over the weekend maybe. So it's over there. I can put the link underneath it anyway, and you can watch that one too if you've missed it. If you liked our show, please thumbs up. That really helps us. If you know someone who might like the show or who might like to know about Cheapskates Club, there's a share button. All you've got to do is click it. It will send them a link. That's all it does. It's up to them then if they choose to watch. And last thing, if you're really not already a subscriber to our channel, click the subscribe button below me and then click the bell to select how often you want to be notified of new videos on our channel. We've had a lot of new videos the last couple of weeks. It helps YouTube, but more importantly, it really helps our channel to be recognized more easily because there's a bazillion YouTube channels out there. And the easier it is to find us, the easier it is to spread the message that it's not only okay to live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing, but it can still be done, even in today's crazy, crazy world. Okay, well, have a great week, everyone, and I hope I see you all over in the forum or on Cheapskates Chatter. sharing your cheapskating experiences. It's been fun chatting, and I'll see you later.